Bună ziua, good morning, доброго ранку. For me, it's a really personal pleasure and honor to be here with you. Chris told just during his presentation that he usually accepts all invitations, especially for the new countries. I'd like to do the same. But in current situation, I can do this, and that's why being here today with you is, for me, a great opportunity to share our knowledge, to share our experience, to share our vision of the future of the payment. Why it's so important for us? Being inside the industry, cooperating with many players, having an ambition as a company to go much beyond our traditional role of cooperating with financial institutions, new players, service providers, merchants, to go much closer to different new sectors for us. It's very important to understand our role and, first of all, the future role of payments, not only here in Moldova, but also worldwide. I was thinking how to predict the future of payments. And frankly speaking, I strongly believe that to answer this question, we need to ask only two actors, two players, consumer and merchant. They are the right actors of our wider ecosystem who could answer the simple question: is it convenient to make a payment for them? Is it convenient to accept the payments? Do they have any barriers to make convenient and secure payments? And to better understand this, we are doing a lot of research. We are now analyzing a lot of information, our internal data, external data, which help us to better predict the future based on our current situation. And today, as a digital commerce is significantly expanding, on the other side, the consumer payment journey has become highly fragmented. It means that we need to have and to provide to our consumers consistent and seamless way of payment. They want to pay at any merchant websites, at many merchant apps. They want to use any type of devices. They want to pay via mobile, on their desktop, and so on. And they want to have it as much seamless, as much convenient as we can. Another thing is increased adoption of mobile shopping, which is also driven by the consumers, and they're willing to have convenient and fast payments. In Europe right now, only 3% of Europeans doesn't have online shopping experience. More than 70% of Europeans have more than one payment transaction, online shopping transactions each month, or maybe even often. Here in Moldova, we did recently our Master Index Moldova 2023 research, and you told us that more than 80% of you using your mobile device for online shopping. Yeah, it doesn't mean that you don't use any other devices, but you're already you're using mobile devices during mobile shopping. But at the same time, we as the consumers, we have we have multiple different alternatives to make traditional payments. What does it mean? That during checkout, we are facing with many different options. And our experience is not easy, is not convenient, having a lot of different choices. And not oftenly these choices are convenient, we have payment card or other payment instrument we'd like to use to make a payment. And of course, security concern. Security concern is still a strong barrier for us as consumers, even leading us to the decision to stop purchasing if we don't have enough trust to the merchant, to the process of making payments. We are still not so confident to share, to store our payment credentials and our private information with the merchants. And this is a context and a lot of challenges we'd like to address, and which creates a background for our future understanding of the payment. What is current consumer behavior in Europe? The good news is that almost all of Europeans and all of us are very familiar with the card payments at the physical merchants. Even more, we are trending to make them contactless or mobile contactless. At the same time, when we are talking about electronic commerce, digital commerce, we see that still almost half of us, 50%, are still entering our card credentials manually, which I strongly believe is the most insecure and inconvenient way of doing online payments. But at the same time, we are quite open for recurring payments. And this is a good news because it opens another opportunities for our cooperation with the merchants for online commerce. Quite recently, we published our internal report, which is called The Future of Payments. And today, I'd like to share some trends, and you will have a chance at the end of my presentation to have an access to this report and to be much more familiar with our vision of the future of the payments. And I remember that previously when we were thinking or talking about the future of payments, we were thinking about new payment methods. What will be the payment devices? Will we pay by tapping a card or tapping our mobile wallets, mobile devices, or how merchants will accept our payments? Will they have such type of device, another type of device, and so on? But today, we need to think a bit more about a different thing. We need to think about reimagining of money. Because currently, today, the definition of money is expanding to non-traditional type of assets. Today, data is a money, cryptocurrency is also money, digital goods is a money. And we need to think about future of payments, keeping in mind that we will be doing payments, not using traditional money, but new type of money as well. Digital wallets are still playing and will play a significant role in how we are doing payments and how we will doing digital payments. Just imagine that current analytics, they predict that just in 2 years, in 2025, 4.4 billion digital users will exist in the world, which will be more than half of the world's population. Why digital wallets play so significant role when we are talking about the future of payments? Because just in a couple of years, we expect that more than 50% of total global e-commerce will be done by using of digital wallets. I believe in this because we are observing the evolution of digital wallet payments in many countries. And right now, for example, in Ukraine, in my home market, more than a third of all e-commerce payments are done already with digital wallets. Consumers are still using their cards, they're entering card details, they're using cards stored with the merchants in their card and files, but 1 of 3 transactions are made by digital wallets already. And it's quite simple to predict that in a couple of years, more than half of such transactions will be done by such digital wallets. What will be or might be the evolution of digital wallets? If you look at this map, it looks like that the world is fully occupied by tech giants companies. And in fact, it's true, but we could expect that future battleground of digital wallets will be not only between these players, but also with the newcomers, not newcomers in fact, but the companies like Amazon, Grab, and also the banks. The new trend which we are currently observing is that, for example, in the US, the bank society, 6 banks, they joined into the project which is called Early Warning, to compete, more actively compete with digital giants. What they're doing right now? Almost when we are thinking about digital wallet, we are thinking about solutions which help us to store our card, to tokenize our card, and so on. But some players are already going beyond this. A few examples. Apple Pay Wallet, Apple Pay Wallet ID, is already accepted in 3 or 4 US states, as your digital ID for your airport security procedures. And another 6 states are going to accept this as well. So they already went a bit beyond just payments, storing card credentials, and so on. Another example, very interesting example, which will be go live in the nearest future in the UK, is also connected to Apple. Sorry, I work in Mastercard, not in Apple, but it's a very interesting fact that Apple will show card balance inside Apple Wallet in the nearest future. This is first example when new feature will be in Apple Pay Wallet, not starting from the US, but in UK, thanks to existing open banking infrastructure in the UK. So we see first examples on how digital wallets are evolving right now, and we could predict how they will evolve in the future. Do we see the role of the banks here? Already we see. And we have a lot of local examples when banks are trying to create their own mobile apps in a competing way with digital giants. Examples of Kaspi in Kazakhstan, example of Monobank in Ukraine, and another more. But the future, we could predict, will look like that digital wallets, banking applications will move from single functioning application, trying to have more and more functionality, transforming into some sort of varieties of multifunctional app. Another trend, which is called intelligence experience, is more connected not with the fact of what we'll use as a payment instrument, but how we will pay. How merchants, what type of payments merchants will offer to us in the nearest future. Currently, the leader is definitely contactless payments. And coming back to 2021, during this pandemic time, personally, I was thinking that high adoption of contactless payments across many markets might be the final step of payment evolution with the physical merchants. How wrong I was. During the last couple of years, merchants in cooperation with Fintech companies, they introduced a lot of new payment methods. QRs presented by the merchants, QR presented by the consumers and accepted by the merchants. We can pay by phone. We can accept payments on phone using tap-on-phone technology, for example. Just guess, how many payment options currently I have in my nearest food store when I do my weekly shopping. Let's try to calculate. I can tap by my physical contactless card or my digital wallet, directly at the POS device. I could present my QR code generated inside the merchant app at the cashier desk, and they will charge card which is linked to this QR code. This is option number 2. Option number 3, I can use self-service checkout, scanning my goods and choosing also a couple of different payment options. This is option number 3. I can use scan and go technology, when I pick in something, into my bucket, and I'm scanning with merchant application QR codes of these goods, and I can do checkout directly inside the application. I can make an online order and pick up my goods directly at the merchants. So currently we have already a lot of different options provided by the merchants. And I want to refer to my first message, that to create these new options, to expand these possibilities of payments, we need to cooperate directly with the merchants, and we need to hear to consumer to better understand what consumer wants, how consumer wants to pay in different scenarios. New way of payments will be highly adopted by the merchants, and we can think about, for example, ultra-wideband technology. Currently, we are quite convenient with NFC payments, but let's imagine that in the nearest future, merchant will know that we are coming into the store when we are just around the block, or we are just entering the store, being able to present personalized offer or provide to us a personalized experience when we are doing offline shopping. Another idea of new type of payments in offline merchants is biometric checkout. When we are talking about biometric, usually we are thinking about something about authentication, how we are going to be authenticated inside mobile apps, to enter mobile banking, or, for example, to pay, to make online payments and so on. But the fact is that biometric checkouts, biometric payments might be our next future and very widely presented way of payments. We already have a lot of examples, especially in transit area. In many countries, we already have an ability to pay using biometric recognition, and it's a very convenient way of making payments. Okay, you don't have underground in Moldova, but let's imagine that instead of tapping transit card or contactless card directly at turnstile, you will just present your face, you will be recognized, and payment will be done. And third trend, it's about a sustainable future. When we're thinking about sustainability, mostly we are thinking about some environmental things, a carbon footprint, and so on. But here we have another trend, which we named embedded trust. What we are thinking about here, that it's very critical for business to keep the trust of your consumers, of your stakeholders. More digital connection between consumers and the business, unfortunately, creates more opportunity for cyber threats. And currently, 7 out of 10 consumers, they believe that businesses currently don't do enough to protect their data. And this is very, very big challenge for all of us. Almost 60% would not do business with the companies who expected cybercrimes attacks in the past. Another number, more than half of the consumers are willing to stop purchase if they don't trust merchants, if they feel unsecure during the payments. That's why we need to think carefully how to be more protected against cybercrimes as a financial sector, payment sector. Unfortunately, as in all the countries, it's not only about Moldova, Ukraine, and so on. We are a frontier of the cyber crime actors, unfortunately. And we in Mastercard, we are doing currently a lot to help our customers, to help different stakeholders of the payment ecosystem, how to protect themselves, how to keep this trust during every interaction with your customers. And when we are talking about customer journey, when we are calculating the number of interactions in different scenarios, we are thinking not only about the payments. We need to think before the payment, when we start our integration, we start our cooperation with the consumers during onboarding steps. We need to protect their identity, their digital journey during payments. We need to protect even further all the finance. The next step, we need to protect the whole infrastructure of the company. And they have a systematic approach how we protect payments, cardholder data, consumer finance, and the whole infrastructure. And just to wrap up, that currently talking about future of payments, we are thinking not only the way of doing payments, how we will pay, how merchants in physical environment, in digital environment, will accept our payments. But we also need to think about new form of money which we will use during the payments. We need to think about new type of interaction between consumer and the merchants. And also, we need to keep in mind that trust is a critical aspect in our business when we are talking about future of payments. What about Moldova? Based on our recent research, Master Index Moldova 2023, we discovered that consumers in Moldova, your consumers, are more than open to accept contactless payments. Irina Untila, at the beginning of today's conference, told us how was our last 2 years journey of adopting mobile payments in the market. Just imagine that only after 1.5 years, we already have more than 30% of payments, offline payments, doing in Moldova already mobile contactless. It's a high speed of adoption of mobile payments on the market, which means that Moldovians are more than open to accept new technologies, new way of doing payments, and to be more digital, be more contactless. When we are talking about acceptance experience, already on the market here in Moldova, 7% of you told us during the research that they don't want to use the service from the merchant if the merchant doesn't provide acceptance service. Another 12% is still hesitating, will I choose this merchant or not? But let's imagine that in a couple of years, you will have different numbers. You will have situations that only 10% or even less will be ready to pay in cash in your merchants. And the rest will demand convenient, contactless, or other way of doing payments. And this is a huge demand for the market and also a huge opportunity how to expand in currently, how to introduce new way of payments, how to feel this expectation of your consumers. And finally, about the trust. 64% of you told us that the trust, the reputation of financial institution is a top one criteria establishing relations with the banks. So it's already here on the market, and this is a critical factor. And doing business, establishing new relations, carefully think about how you protect this trust in your business. That's all from my side. Thank you so much. And if you're interested in the future of payment research, you're welcome to scan this QR code. Thank you. Have a nice day.